Chapter 4, Lesson 7, Use Unit Rates. Our objective is you will solve problems using unit rates. Unlock the problem. The Champy family is traveling from Arizona to Texas. On the first part of the trip, they drove 500 miles in 10 hours. If they continue driving at the same rate, how many hours will it take them to drive 750 miles? You can use equivalent ratios to find the number of hours it will take the Champy family to drive 750 miles. You may need to find a unit rate before you can write equivalent ratios. So looking at this problem, we know that they drove 500 miles in 10 hours. We're trying to figure out how many hours it will take them to drive 750. So we're going to write ratios that compare miles to hours. 750 is not a multiple of 500, so now we're going to have to write it as a unit rate. If it was a multiple, we could just solve it that way, but instead, we're going to get it down to a unit rate. So we're going to take 500 and 10 both divided by 10, so that it'll equal something with 750. 500 divided by 10 is 50. So equivalent ratio to 500 over 10 is 50 over 1. From here, we can write an equivalent rate by multiplying the numerator and denominator by the same value. So we need to think, multiply 50 by what to get 750? If you don't know that off the top of your head, just divide 750 by 50. Which is going to be 15. So we're going to take 50 times 15 to get 750. And if we do it to the top, we have to do the same thing to the bottom. So we're going to take 1 times 15 also. So we thought to multiply 50 by 15 to get 750, and then we multiplied the denominator by 15 also. So now, when we look at these ratios, the numerators are the same, because we now have 750 over 15 equals 750 over, we don't know. So then the numerators are the same, so the denominators have to be equal to each other. So we know that the unknown value is 15, and it will take the family 15 hours to drive 750 miles. So again, all we do is we take the rate that we know, break it down into a unit rate, and then find how to make that unit rate equivalent to the rate we're trying to find. This next example deals with bar models. If bar models confuse you, you can use the other way of solving it unless it asks you to show it in a model form. So Kenyon earns $105 for mowing 3 lawns. How much would Kenyon earn for mowing 10 lawns? So here they drew the bar model to represent the situation. So they have 1, 2, 3 lawns right here, and they're representing that's $105 for those 3. So down here they drew 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They drew 10 lawns. And there's a question mark right here because we don't know how much he's going to earn doing that. So step 2, now that we've drawn the model, step 2 says to solve the problem. The model shows that 3 units represents $105. So we need to find the value represented by how many units? Well, we are talking about 10 lawns, so now we're trying to find 10 units. So we need to write it as a unit rate. If we have 105 for every 3, we need to divide the numerator and the denominator by 3 so we get that unit rate. 105 divided by 3 is 35. So 1 unit represents $35. So now each of these units here is $35. Every single one represents $35. So now we're just going to take 35, 10 units are equal to 10 times 1 unit, so 10 units equals 10 times. We just said 1 unit represents 35, so we're taking 10 times 35. 10 times 35 is 350. So Kenyon will earn $350 for mowing 10 lawns. If you have any questions, please be sure to ask your teacher. And just a reminder, what our learning objective was is that we will solve problems using unit rate.